Well, hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. Today we're doing the field test of the Tops Dart in 5160. Give you some basic specs, we'll jump right out there and start using this blade. You got a weight of 15 ounces, made here in the USA, out of 5160's high carbon steel, Rockwell hardness 57 to 58. You have a cutting edge from tip to the end of the edge right here of 6.5 inches. You got 3/16 of an inch thick spine, real nice thick spine. Micarta handle scales, full flat grind into a saber grind, we'll talk about a little later, nylon sheath. Just an overall just great kind of modified kukri design blade that we're just going to beat on today and see how it performs. So let's jump out there and get to it. Nice. Now we're talking. Oh yeah. This thing is like a little hand axe, man. This thing is just going through branches. Look at that, like crazy. At 15 ounces, this Tops Dart is just plowing through branches. I mean, look at that. Awesome. Where all the weight is crashing down right there, kind of on that bigger belly part right there. I mean, that is slamming through pieces of wood like a hatchet. I mean, it is so powerful to chop with the Tops Dart. The handle is so comfortable as well. It's not sending any vibrations up my hand. It's not hurting me in any way, shape, and form. I got the lanyard on there. I mean, you need to clear some bush and some branches. Get the Tops Dart, man. Woo! You can see, even though it kind of has a little bit of a drop down design, a little bit like a kukri, you can definitely get a good stabbing motion in there. Real nice, getting great penetration in this knife. Got a great finger guard down here with the awesome jimping. I mean, I am totally locked into place. You can really get a good stab in there. The tip is really nice and strong, so you can do some prying, you know, side to side stuff if you needed to, but you're not worried about it breaking or snapping, and it is delicate enough that you can get in there, you know, and make a bow drill hole maybe if you needed to, or something like that, and then go back to stabbing. So I would say that you could definitely use this in a tactical format. I wouldn't recommend it. You know, there's just quicker, faster knives, I guess, if you could say that. You know, they're just going to be easier to wield because this does weigh 15 ounces. You're basically rocking a pound in your hand. But if you had to, you could definitely, you know, stab some zombies and decapitate their heads, or use it in, you know, a real world tactical situation in the military for both breaching and fighting. The Tops Dart could do both very easily. All right, so let's take a look here at the Tops Dart sheath. It is a nylon sheath. You got your little pocket up front. You know, you could put a sharpener kit, multi-tool, whatever. There's the bottom of the actual Kydex insert, paracord lashing for your leg. Flip it over. You got a nice run of molly into your nice big belt loop that you can fit on a tactical belt. Then you got your two Velcro straps, and those are really basically almost bogus. Not really even worth it at all. Thankfully, they give us two little steel rivets right here and another set in here that you can run paracord. And this is an aftermarket, what I've done here with this little lashing to help out, because otherwise all you have is two strips of Velcro, basically bogus, and then the knife slides out. And Velcro sucks, you know, because water, snow, sand gets in there, this is just going to wear out real quick. I would have liked to just see two buttons. If they just put two buttons on these straps, boom, that'd be awesome, and this sheath would last a really long time. They didn't, so those are going to wear out real quick, and thankfully they did give us this little strip of these holes for the strip paracord, so that you can keep it in place. You could even cut these Velcro straps off if you wanted to and run two lashing points for the paracord. The Kydex insert is really nice, going to hold up for a really long period of time, drainage hole down at the bottom. So basically a bogus sheath that just barely gets the job done, and kind of the saving grace are those rivet holes that you can run paracord through if you desire. And the sheath is pretty loud also, you can see. Not very tactical in the sheath design. Barely gets the job done, the sheath on the Dart. You can see how easy it is to carve with the Tops Dart. I mean, you can easily, even though this is a massive 1-pound instrument, you know, kind of designed for some breaching as well as wilderness stuff, you can get these very nice fine shavings done very easily. And the reason for that, not only is the blade geometry razor sharp, and the blade geometry is very interesting. Back near my finger where the finger choil is, it's a saber grind, and then as it comes into the belly, by the time you hit the belly, you're hitting a full flat grind. So it's a saber into a full flat grind, which is very interesting. But you know, up there where you would be choking up and getting, you know, your carving done, very easy to do. I love that they do give you that nice finger choil right there. Very easy to get your finger in with gloves or not. And then again, the micarta handle scales are just so comfortable. Even if I'm backed up like this, I can easily continue to carve and whittle. Very, very easy to do with the dart and get the tinder that I would need to start a fire after I've already chopped down my trees and, you know, done batoning and, you know, done everything that I would need to do to get all the wood for the fire. Then I can easily carve with this same instrument. You know, I don't have to have a separate tool to get in there and then begin to prepare the kindling for the fire. Even with this kind of reverse grip, more bushcrafting type of cuts, this Tops knives not only can do that very easily, and even though it is a pound, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like my BK2 or the SE5. It just feels lighter, even though it's, you know, right there at basically a pound almost. And the machined micarta handle scales are amazing. They feel so comfortable in my hand. When I do that reverse grip, I'm able to just cup it like that, hold it, do the chest pulls, so that when my hand gets fatigued, I can just do this for a while and easily kind of do more of a bushcraft style of use with the dart.
All right, just want to talk about the handle scales here on the Tops dart real quick. Nice machined micarta, very, very comfortable. I wear large size gloves. You can see how much room I have to spare. You got that nice finger choil, great set of jimping along the spine right here that just gives you some really good traction and lockup, regardless if you are doing those close cuts or if you're back here, you know, just doing some chopping or, you know, just more aggressive cutting. Very nice, machined in, rounded, very, very comfortable, extremely comfortable. No vibrations, no hot spots while I was using this knife, regardless if you're batoning, chopping, or carving. Just very, very comfortable. You got that non-lethal pommel that you could probably do some glass breaking as well back there with that nice lanyard hole. Obviously full tang, bolted on, those handle scales, nice little white liners there. And then you got these two sets of jimping. You can see one right there, one right here. I believe that's for reverse grip. Your index finger rests right there on that set of jimping, and then your thumb kind of rests right there if you are going to be doing a reverse stab motion like that. They don't, you know, wear out my hands or feel uncomfortable in any way. They're very comfortable, and you don't even notice them unless, you know, you're actually holding it in that reverse grip. Then you start to notice them, and it's nice that they do give you a little bit of extra traction for that reverse stabbing if you needed to. So very comfortable, awesome, awesome handle scales for those of you who just need a very comfortable handle and are looking for that. Tops dart's got it.
All right, everybody, so we're about to do the batoning on the Tops dart, and I just want to kind of give a little disclaimer here. We are in the compound of the Gideon's Tactical backyard. You know, the areas that I usually go to do my boot camp for and throw, you know, basically everything I can at the knives, oftentimes just doesn't have good wood to baton through. Either it's too dried out and just, you know, isn't really a test at all, or they got lots of twists and turns and knots in them, and they just don't make for good batoning on pieces of wood. So I've just gotten some dried out pine here. We're back here in the backyard. You know, ready to do a fire for the house, and we're just going to baton through some of this wood so you can kind of see and get an idea, because out in my blade boot camps that I take these knives out in the wilderness just don't really provide me with the good wood that it would take to baton with. So let's just see how this thing does here. Oh yeah, man. That's a big thick piece of wood, about 3.5 inches thick. And with this dart having a 3/16 inch thick spine, I mean, this thing is a monster. Nice. You know, you're able to span a lot of wood as well with that 6.5 inch cutting edge. Very easy to do that. Get the kindling you would need for a fire. Oh yeah, man. I mean, that went through to about right here, and then it's, you know, splitting and breaking. The coating is holding up well on the dart as well. It's not, you know, wearing out really quick. Tops does a great job with a lot of their coatings. I haven't had too many problems with the coatings that they have. They hold up a lot longer than, say, K-Bar or Rat knives and a lot of other knives out there on the market. They do a great coating on their blades, and it is just This dart is a Batoner, that is for sure. One hit. And here we got some cord as well. Figure I just knock out 2 with 1 stone. We got a really nice thick 3/8 cord, heavy duty nylon rope, and you can see, boom, this dart just goes right through it with that slight recurve, and then into the massive amount of belly that this blade offers you. You can easily, you know, go right through that, regardless if it was, you know, a seat belt in your Humvee flipped over, or your car, you know, or you're just around a campsite and you're needing to cut through cord, wire, I mean, not wire, cord, rope, molly, you know, whatever, paracord. This thing is just, because of even how big it is, 3/16 inch thick, very large chopping instrument, but you can just, whoosh, not even putting any pressure on it, with the dart, go right through man-made cord, rope, nylon materials like a piece of cake, man. I mean, it's just like, whoosh, boom, you're done. All right, everybody, so in conclusion, we've gone out there, we've tested this thing, used it several times. I love it. It's a great blade, you know, for a compact chopper, batoner, and, you know, carver. I mean, it's just all, it's got it going for it, everything. It batons well, chops well, carves well, and it can do it a lot better than some other knives that are even bigger than this blade. You know, at only 6.5 inches of actual cutting edge, it can just really, really chop really well, just as good as my BK2 or, you know, SE5 or some of those other knives that are even bigger, like a BK9 or something. This can chop just as well as those. I will bring this in the frame here. Here's a buck thug. You can see very similar in design. You know, this one's going to be a lot more probably popular, the buck thug, just because people, it's just a little bit more accessible than the dart. And the same day that we post this review of the Topps dart, we'll be doing a versus side-by-side video of the thug and the dart, so that'll be also on the Gideon's Tactical channel, so you can watch that video too. If you're kind of comparing the buck thug and the dart, we will have that video, that side-by-side comparison, up and posted as well. But overall, for the price point, you're going to be paying right around 140, 150 bucks for the Topps dart. That is just a great blade that will last you a lifetime, with the only complaint really being the sheath, which is kind of subpar, but that happens a lot with just knives. You just see that a lot with, you know, high-end blades, that sometimes the sheath is not all there. So that's my only complaint. Other than that, the knife itself, amazing home run. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.